All right. This past Friday night on SmackDown, Adam Pearce announced that current WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley, she would not be able to compete, and there will be an interim Women's Champion crown at SummerSlam in the ladder match. We had Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill qualify. Nia Jax will get her rematch for a qualifying match this Friday on SmackDown, as this is being recorded on a Wednesday. So we have to assume Nia Jax will be able to get into the match. So as of right now, it's Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. But the interesting thing is the interim tag. WWE does not throw around the interim tag often. The last time WWE threw around an interim tag, it was in the NXT for the Cruiserweight division, where JD McDonough could not compete during COVID, during travel issues. And like I said, WWE does not throw that around that often. So at this moment, we have Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton will also defeat JC Jane on the last week's episode of SmackDown. And we have to think here. Why the interim tag? I have no clue. Now, what had me thinking is, for the interim tag to be thrown out there, Rhea must not be as hurt as people might think. She might be able to come back pretty soon. She may be able to come back pretty soon, and that's the interesting thing, because the interim tag means, all right, you can come back for WWE reasons. You're gonna be out for a while, but you can come back pretty soon. Not the fact that you need to relinquish your title, even though we haven't seen Rhea Ripley in 5-6 weeks. So, who do we go here with? Who do we go with here? Is the question, because the field is still unfull. And my pick last week was JC Jane, but we know we're not going to get JC Jane because she lost her qualifying match. But this brings up the question: since Nia's getting a rematch for her in a qualifying match, why shouldn't JC Jane? And WWE is pretty much WWE has a tendency of doing second chance matches. And if anything, I think if Nia's getting one, JC Jane should actually get one. Now, my thing with JC Jane is, I thought this was all set up for JC Jane to actually win. But apparently JC Jane at this moment in time is not going to win this at all. So where do we go? This is what I'm thinking. And this is somebody that pretty much has not made an impact yet and hasn't been given the opportunity to yet. But I think this might set up a Blake Monroe sighting. I think in the long run, this is what Blake Monroe has kind of been waiting for. And that's like I said, this has been the perfect. I just talked about the injury thing, and this might be the perfect time to debut Blake Monroe, because during Blake Monroe's vignettes, one of the things that she did was she highlighted different women in the division, not just one. It was multiples. So with that being said, in the last few weeks, she's taken on Chelsea Green a couple of times. She took out Candice LeRae last week. But I'm thinking here that maybe we get Blake Monroe in this match, because we're getting we're getting 5 other women for her to face and take out. So I think this spot is actually a great spot to debut Blake Monroe, and Blake Monroe possibly becoming the interim champion. Even if you don't have her be the interim champion, have her make an impact to get into this match, even make her have her debut match to get into this match. Let her make an impact. And even if she doesn't win it, she's not taking a pinfall loss, so you're still protecting her at this point. And then even if you do give it a title, you're made right there. And then her and Rhea, I'm sure you don't want to just give that away. I think that's a WrestleMania match on the low. But even if you want to have those two go at it, you can, because I think JC and Fatal Influence, I think they're going to take on the Bell Twins and Paige at SummerSlam. That's another reason I'm not sure if JC's going to get her second opportunity, because I think that's where we're going to head it, because Nikki Bella is clear. But I do think Blake Monroe is the perfect person to be inserted into this match, and I'm not against her winning at all. I am not, because during those vignettes, that was the focal point of those vignettes was all the women in the division. So you already know that you already know you're going to get Charlotte in this match. Jade's already in the match. Tiffany's already in the match, who she had a thing with on Twitch. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Tiffany was a part of her vignettes, but we know Charlotte was, we know Rhea was, and we know the title's on the line. Perfect. I think this is the perfect spot to debut Blake Monroe in this ladder match and potentially win it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about Blake Monroe, what she's been doing, not been doing, and let me know what you guys think about her possibly winning the Women's Championship at SummerSlam and being inserted into this match.